All right, so let me do the demarcation for the official meeting here. So it's top of the hour, folks. So the official meeting is now ending. We're going to be doing the after hours here for a little while. So if you want to carry on talking about wood turning or anything else, this is the unabridged, unofficial version. So feel free to drop off if you want to. Otherwise, feel free to participate. This is how we get to know each other. If not, we'll see you next week. All right, carry on, guys.
So these must be new colors, Matt, that I got a hold of. New
Maybe.
color line.
I'm looking for. I keep all these colors with my airbrush paints,
Yep.
and I was wondering where my Simulsun allergy eye relief went, and it's in there with the paints.
Well, these must
it looks like a paint.
These must be something new they came out with, because they're all single colors.
Yeah, all of the ones I have are dual colors. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm reading the color names here, and they're all single colors.
All right, well, cool. Well, enjoy. They look nice.
Yeah, it seems to work out pretty good so far on what I've tried it on.
Very cool. Very cool.
Something the card ladies are using now.
Always something new, eh?
Something new for them, anyways.
Yep.
I kind of like it because it leaves like a velvety finish.
Yeah.
It's not smooth. It's kind of like a crushed velvet finish.
Yeah, it feels soft. I know exactly what you mean.
So after hours, no admittance.
They probably can't hear you, Dane, unless we admit them. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. This has been a great meeting.
I'm just letting the co-host know. That's all.
Yep. I'm gonna call it a night. Who's that?
All right, sounds good, Matt.
See you, Matt.
Yep. So have a good night. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for the tip, Scott. Colors look great. Can always count on you costing me more money somehow. Yeah, I got a list of stuff, a list of ideas. That's like I keep a notebook over here where I keep lists of ideas. So I've got 2 months worth of ideas. If nothing else came down the pike and I didn't do anything else for 2 months, I still have enough stuff to turn in the shop. So just to try some of this stuff out. So never a dull moment.
I got challenged to a cork challenge from a lady. Well, I've been making cork figures for the last couple days.
What is a cork figure?
Cork, right there.
Oh, cork. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
It's a mice.
And then a hammerhead shark.
Hammerhead cork.
All made out of cork. Except
That's
for the
funny.
eyes, obviously.
Too funny.
Pins and all. Something you can do when you don't have a lathe to play on.
Why don't you have a leg?
Because when I'm up north, I don't have a lathe,
Oh,
which is where I'm going back to in 4 days.
Take your mini lathe with you.
you gotta quit leaving the shop.
Yeah, but I got to justify that $4,000 a year I pay in taxes up north.
Oh. Yeah, there's that.
And make the wife happy, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, we all know how that goes.
And she gets paid to go up there. I don't. She's a card maker, so she does card classes when we're up there.
That little jig I got from you sure came in handy with that apple.
Yeah?
Oh, I bet.
Oh,
Yeah.
Did you do a video on
Yeah.
it, Billy?
Yeah, it launches next Wednesday. Because next week we're gonna be out of pocket. We're leaving here Saturday. We're going up to we're going to southern Montana because we'll be going to Yellowstone, but we're gonna do the Garden of the Gods and Colorado Springs, and then Mount Rushmore and Devil's Tower, and then Yellowstone and maybe the Tetons.
Hey, Billy,
Yeah.
the Pikes Peak Conrail is still open. I was just there on Saturday.
I don't know if we're gonna have time for that.
And Garden of the Gods is beautiful.
That's what my daughter wants to do. So that's anyway. We're gonna be gallivanting around for a week.
Sounds like
Have fun.
Oh, I got a video up today, and I got another that Apple's launching next week. So, but yeah, I'm showing the carving of the lobes in the bottom of the apple for the feet, using that jig. Worked really, really nicely.
Cool.
So thank you again.
Oh, not a problem.
Have you used yours yet, Dane?
No, not yet. I didn't get out to the shop again until to actually do anything until Monday.
Where were you, Dane?
I was laid up. Well, I wasn't here last week.
Yeah, I know. I was wondering what happened to you.
Yeah, me too. Something wrong with my hips and pelvic, man. Just excruciating pain, non-weight bearing.
Wow.
Damn near made an angry bastard like me. Damn near made me cry two different times.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Well, I got the artificial knees, and I've been kneeling on them for 15 years. And I knelt
Yeah, you're
down.
about ready for a new set.
Yeah, I knelt down the other day, and man, I was in so much pain I couldn't stand it.
Dad got up, went outside to go dip leaves out of the pool because I heard the wind come through the wash. Got about 4 steps outside the door, and I just lost all feeling, man. Tumbled, head over apple cart. It was all I could do to get back up and come back inside and get the baby treatment. Of course, you got to lay it on for the wife.
Dane, you're too young for that.
Been a hard life, brother. So I can show you what I was able to get. I got my finial done.
Oh, pretty. That's pretty.
Thank you. Spot myself.
You are.
All right, right on. So a piece of eucalyptus.
Looks nice.
Mesquite, finial, and beauty ring. Tina said, you just need to put gold on the tippy top. And so as I was painting it with the iron acetate, I was real careful about keeping the sapwood on it. So,
Wow, that looks
yeah,
like
so-
a good demo to me.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, if I could just figure out how to properly mount them, that way I could save more of the white. I think I posted that. Billy and Joaquin commented on it. They knew the pain that I was going through on it. I started turning, but I was able to get it finished over the weekend. So and then Sleeping Beauty turquoise. So it's got 1 coat of tung oil on it. There's the bottom.
That's only 1 coat of tung oil. How many coats of sanding sealer did you use?
I use bold linseed oil as my sanding sealer.
Okay.
So
That's what I used, and I got like 6 or 8 coats on mine, and it's not shiny like that.
Yeah, my ideas.
Depends upon how much sanding you do on it. If you got to sand and sand and sand, you're going to ruin that wood surface, and it's not going to. For me, if you don't have a pristine wood surface to start off with, and you sand and sand, what happens is you seal that grain, and it doesn't allow for any of your oils to go in and penetrate. They just lay up there topically. So every time then when you apply a coat and then denib the fuzzies on it, you're taking off more finish than what needs to be taken off. So
Yeah, there's such thing as too much sanding, that's for sure.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, if you burnish that wood, you're not going to get any finish to go in to be able to build that luster. So
You
Dane,
shouldn't
how
go-
long are you giving your linseed oil to dry before you start finishing?
maybe a couple hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but you
Okay,
gotta remember, he's,
Right, you got to remember my climate. I mean, we're 110 and 8% humidity
Oh,
as of
yeah,
today.
you got a point there.
So if I'm for this, it was just over. I coated it and overnight let it dry. If I'm working during the day, I'm gonna put it out in the truck and then bring it back out an hour later, and it's gonna be dry. And so even with that, with the one coat, of tung oil, it sat out in my truck, hour and a half. Brought it back in. Should have got another coat on it this afternoon, but didn't get around to it because I was screwing with laptop issues. Which I'm still screwing with. I'm having issues with my Wi-Fi right now. Got to get my new system set up.
So what do you buff them with?
Huh?
What do you buff it with?
High thread count. Cotton.
Yeah, but what are you using, to put on it?
Put the oil on.
No,
What am I using?
No, to buff it.
it's like
Hand power.
yeah, but he's not using the buffing compound, he's just using the
I
cotton
don't use-
cloth.
yeah, okay.
Where's my buffing rag?
Yep.
Cotton towel.
I haven't buffed mine yet, so maybe that's why it ain't shining.
How
Well, you should
far
have
do
a
you,
shine. You should have a shine already before you start buffing it. All you're doing is denibbing,
yeah,
Right.
essentially.
how far do you sand them, Dan, before you're starting to tung oil them?
400.
It's too much. Don't go above 320.
Yeah, it's
And I wouldn't even go to 320.
320, 340.
This is what I've got like 6 coats on.
It's just laying on top and you're just sanding one coat off after another. That's why it's not shining.
I can't see it.
Hang on, I'll highlight them. I think you're sanding it too far, Dan.
Okay.
Initially, before you even tung oil it, I think you're sanding 400s. You're capping the capillaries off at 400.
All right.
What are you using for a sanding? What are you using for a sanding sealer?
I was using that boiled linseed oil.
Okay.
I put 2 coats of that on. And then I put the tung oil, polymerized tung oil.
So I saturate in linseed oil and then I sand it. Depending upon what the wood is, I may go to 320. Otherwise, it's 240. Sand it with the linseed oil on there. and then wipe it off with denatured, napkin or rag with denatured alcohol to get that slurry out, and then you set it aside to dry.
Okay.
And you go back over the top of it. I'll use 1500 grit to denib it, because you're just taking off any of the dusties or fluffies that are left on it that accumulated while it was drying. And then from there, go with my diluted, with the first couple coats of diluted tongue oil.
What are
60,
you
40,
diluting
70, 30 denatured alcohol. And I wrote a
Okay.
process on this. So I don't have to explain it all the time.
Yeah, I know.
But
How you
First
keep
couple
your chuck
coats of
so
that.
clean, Dan?
What's that?
How do you keep your chuck so clean?
I don't know. I've never cleaned it.
because he's not putting finish on it.
He's being a little more
I'm just teasing.
careful than I do. Mine are black and all kind of different colors. I've got to break them down and put them in some stripper and clean them up.
Well,
You can still get a nice
Mine's
shine
shiny
on
too,
that
so.
even with a 400 grit sand. The higher the grit you sand, the quicker you should be able to get a high shine on it. Just keep applying finish
Right.
and sanding with a high grit in between. You need many more coats than just 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 even.
Yeah, because this part of it right here, the light, that has got a shimmer to it. And I'm trying to get that shimmer back. It's on both sides. There's a little of it there, but
All
and
right,
it's
I'll
on,
be back. I gotta go do my cats.
and it's on
Yeah,
the
it's the chatoyance. It's the chatoyance in the wood. So you keep applying that finish, it'll really highlight that and it'll all come back and shimmer.
okay.
You're doing fine. You just need to keep applying more coats.
Okay, and sand it with 400, huh?
Yeah, like
So
a
Dan-
600 in between, but you're not sanding the coat away. You're just scuffing up the surface to take the fluff and dust off that landed on the surface.
Okay,
So
what
it's
about
just a quick little scuff and then reapply a coat.
that 4/0? It's not the
Steel wool?
Steel wool, wire wool.
Don't use steel wool.
not
No,
steel.
don't use steel wool. Use the Scotch Brite pads. If
Yeah,
you use,
the white Scotch Brite pads.
Right.
yeah, that would be perfect. You could use that and just scuff off the lint and dust and then reapply a coat of finish.
Yeah, I'll do that. Because this, even on the inside, it's got I can see the chatoyance in it. But, I'll just keep going, but I'm putting very thin coats on it. So,
Yeah, that's good. That
You
way
might
you
wanna
won't
try
get any
2
runs or
coats
drips.
before
Then you won't get
sand.
any runs or drips,
yep.
right? The thinner coats are actually better. They dry quicker. You can reapply quicker.
Yeah,
Dave, where do you sand your piece down to initially? Before you
Who,
put
me?
anything on it, what do you sand it to?
Me?
Yeah,
It depends on the wood. So I would go anywhere between 240 to 400. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's 240, it just takes more coats of finish to saturate the pores. If
Right.
it's 400, it'll still penetrate and still fill those pores. You'll just build up a shine quicker. It's
Okay.
still going to adhere to the wood and penetrate the pores. It just won't penetrate as far, and you'll get a shine much quicker the higher you sand. And with a higher grit, with a more oily wood or a tighter grained wood, like a ebony or a rosewood, you would sand to a higher grit anyway, because a lower grit, you'll still see those scratch marks. On a domestic wood, I would sand to 240 or 320. Anything else, I sand to 400.
right. Your exotics, you would go to 400.
Yeah, exotics, I would go to 400. Maybe
Yeah,
600 if I was feeling ambitious, but really the any scratches past that, the finish is gonna fill and just be like a clear window through anyway, so you won't even see them.
Right, yep.
Yeah, this is just honey locust. So
Yeah, honey locust, you could sand, even though it's an open pore wood, you could still sand to anywhere from 240 to 400.
okay. Yeah, because I hollow or got a whole bunch of honey locusts and I made a bunch of different things, bowls, all kinds of stuff, so it'll dry. And I'll finish them up later. And hopefully they don't crack. I put anchor seal on them.
Honey locust is pretty good about not cracking.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty stable. It dries pretty even.
Dries
Yeah.
pretty good, pretty even, unless it's a crotch piece. But
Right.
even still, it's pretty stable wood. So if you don't want to use anchor seal, just use the thinned oil or a thin boiled linseed oil or a thin tung oil.
Okay.
And the thinner, the solvent that's the thinner will actually displace the water, and the oil that's left behind will stabilize the wood as it dries, less likely to crack. Anchor seal is just a lot harder to clean off.
Yep. Well, I bought a gallon of it, so I got to use it up.
Good anchor seal. I've never used anchor seal. Is that more like a wax or a
It's got
like
a
an
wax.
end sealer?
Yes, it's a liquefied wax.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wouldn't use that at all because you'll have a hell of a time putting a finish over wax. It won't adhere to a wax unless
Yeah.
you're just going to continue with a wax finish. But if you
Right.
use a thin oil or a thin boiled seed oil or whatever, anything will adhere to that. Like you could put a oil or a lacquer or a wax over an oil, or you could use a lacquer and put an oil or a wax over top of that, but you can't start with wax and put something over top of that. Nothing will stick.
Yeah. I turn it after that, so they're about an inch thick. So I don't think it's gonna affect it. I don't know.
Yeah, if you turn it after the fact, it probably won't, because you'll take off a good 16th or 1/8 of an inch on either side, so that should take the wax off.
Yeah. This is what I'm getting ready to turn. It's finally dry enough.
Oh, that'd be a nice crotch piece.
Yeah.
You can already see the figure and the ripple on the rough sawn part.
Yeah.
Slightly.
On this half, I got a little crack right there and little ones across here. And I don't think it's gonna affect it at all,
No.
but
I seal my wood with anchors or not PVA glue, white glue, Elmer's white glue, kids white glue.
Do
Yeah,
you
dollar
dilute it?
store glue.
You can get it for like $5 a gallon at the dollar stores. And
Yeah.
and you just dilute it like 10-to-1 with water, 10 parts
Yeah.
to 1 part watered or 2 parts water. And it's
Oh,
great. I've never
I
had
heard diluted. I heard
Yeah,
diluted
water
1-to-1.
it depends on where you live. I live in a really kind of a hot climate, so I don't want the wood to dry really, really fast. It'll dry too
Right.
fast where I live, and especially in the summer. So I want to add more glue to mine.
But that's right, because you don't have much humidity.
No,
Yeah. If I were to do it up here, I'd do like a 5-to-1.
probably, yeah.
5
Oh.
glue to 1 water.
5 water to 1 glue.
To 1
Yeah.
glue. Okay.
Or no,
No,
5
yeah,
glue to 1 water. Other way around.
Yeah.
yeah, other way around, Cade, 5-to-1.
So it's thicker.
That's how I make it too, is 5-to-1.
so would you cut this like for a 10-inch bowl.
I'd move that over if it was me.
I would too. I'd put it where that flame is.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd put it right where the crotch
Move it,
is
in-
and
move
have
it into
the,
that crotch.
Keep going towards you, as far as you can towards you. Yep,
yeah, right
something
there.
like that.
Okay.
And then you'll have that feathering figure right through the bottom of the bowl, and you'll have that little live edge bark inclusion on the one side, which will be the artistic accent of the piece. You can sell it for more.
I'd make it an emerging bowl if it was me, because it's thin enough.
Yeah.
He's got that sliced pretty thin. You could make a beautiful emerging bowl out of that crotch.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, could do all kinds.
Make an 8-inch bowl instead of a 10-inch bowl, and make it leave a flat thin piece for emerging bowl.
I know it's you want to try to get as much wood out of it as you can, but if you go smaller, sometimes it's better. I know you want to maximize your wood, but you got to look at what the finished piece is going to look like in the end.
Yep.
Yep.
Wow. I've always been told bigger wood's better.
I've got this other half. I just gotta.
You get a 6-inch bowl out of that, 6 or an 8-inch bowl out of that emerging bowl out of that crotch. That'd be pretty.
Oh, you could still get a good sized crotch bowl out of that guy too,
Yeah.
even with the crack there. And then you got a spindle blank for the other side.
Yep. I'd cut it off right through that crack.
You'll have a bowl and a back scratcher. There you go.
Yep. I'd make a cube out of that, split it right at the crack, cut that crack right out of it.
Make a spindle blank out of it.
Yep.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to go a little
Like that.
smaller on the bowl.
A little smaller on the bowl, but you get 2 pieces out of the piece of wood
Yeah.
that way.
And you're not gonna get a
Yeah.
10-inch
I'd
bowl
turn that
out
as
of
a
that.
natural edge.
Yep.
I'd
You
flip
could
it
get a
around
bowl
turn
and
it as a
2
natural
boxes.
edge.
Yeah, you could make a natural edge bowl out of it too. That'd be pretty too.
Yeah.
Then it would capture all that feathering from the
Yep.
crotch.
Correct. First thing
Either
I do
way,
though
you'd
is
have the
cut that
feathering
split out
on
of
the
there.
crotch.
Just cut that split out.
Yep. Just take your bandsaw and set it up and cut right down the split in a nice straight line. And then make your bowl out
Yeah.
of what's left.
Send that shit to me and Billy. Which
And
one
then
is split in
bottom-
there?
Well, see,
I'll meet you at the border.
I've never cut these before. And when I got this, I said, well, I'm gonna cut it in half. And I didn't know why, but I did. And after I did it, I said, well, it looks nice. Now if it don't crack. So I put it in the basement. It's been down here for about 1.5 years.
Well, it's good to go. Got
Yep.
the tournament.
Yeah, it should be ready.
So I'll get going on that. And then I got, hold on, I'll grab it real quick.
Storm today, Scott?
No, I got that yesterday.
Okay, it's here right now.
Yeah, we got it late last night, so it's probably just getting to you now.
Hey, you should
Yeah,
come.
it was called,
You should come visit me this Saturday. It's going to be 107 degrees where I'm at.
yeah, it's going to be 104 here too on the weekend.
Crazy weather.
Then I just kind of did these out just to,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, run and dry it.
yeah, just to dry it. And then I got
Do you want this light on?
some little
No,
cups.
it's not necessary.
I don't watch TV now. You should be over here.
Then I got some cups I did for my grandkids. Real tiny,
You.
but they'll love them, you know. So that's where most all this is gonna go anyways, to my grandkids, so. stuff for her little Barbie penthouse.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, I got the neighbor, he cut a limb off his tree and he just was gonna burn the wood. I said, well, can I have it? And he says, sure. He says, I don't want it anyway. So he gave me that, and so I just cut it all up kind of in the shapes I wanted, and you know, just gonna wait for it to dry now. And if I get some more, then I'll you know, cut it up into big blanks, something like that tree there. In fact, I got some walnut I'm gonna make into a bowl, couple of bowls. But I just don't want to make all bowls and shit like that. I want to make some other type stuff. Them back scratchers, I'll probably make a few of them. But I got to get to it. My wife wants me to make a big bowl for a fruit bowl, so I can put my apples, oranges, and bananas, all that stuff in it. Because the 7 or 8 inch bowls just don't hold enough for her. Fill them full of candy for her. But yes, all I've been up to.
Dan, I want to go back to your bowl with your prep and what you're doing on that again. So when you're applying your linseed oil, are you just putting the linseed oil on it and then being done with it?
No, I put the linseed oil. Yeah, I put linseed oil on it. 2 coats of that.
And then are you wet sanding? And then are you wet sanding with the linseed oil?
No, I didn't know if I should. I just let it dry.
So that's no, put it on wet sand with it, and that slurry is going inside to help fill up those pores. And then when you wipe that slurry off and then allow it to dry, there may be little fuzzies on it the next day, but once you denib it, that wood is going to feel silky, soft, and smooth. If it doesn't feel silky, soft, and smooth, you need to do it again because it's dependent upon the type of wood.
Okay.
And so that's what's filling that wood grain, which in turn is going to allow for that tung oil finish to build. And this is my process, which is going to allow for it to build, get that super sheen to it after 5 or 6 coats.
Okay, so what if I wet sanded it, put some more finish on it like this, the tung oil, and sanded it with the tung oil? Would that work?
No, you're not wet. You're not wet sanding with the tung oil. Only with the linseed oil.
Okay, so it's too late to do that. Unless
yeah, because the tung oil has already gone in, and so the tung oil is acting as the sanding sealer.
Okay.
To further fill up the grain pores that didn't get filled from the initial step. And so now it's just a matter of, just building your layers, and it'll get shiny.
Okay.
All you got to do is denib it, add on, just keep adding your thin coats.
Yep.
And then giving it time
to get it done.
Because y'all got humidity up there, and it's an oil finish. It takes time.
Yeah. Well, it's been drying pretty quick in a day.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's good.
So, but I got I'm running the air conditioner. It's taking all the humidity out.
Yeah. Nothing
Yeah.
worth doing is easy.
No, I know that. But I did
All right.
find a way to easily take a piece of wood off the woodworm screw.
Don't use it.
Oh no, I use it all the time. I love it now. I can get any piece of wood off with minimal effort. I
Little piece of
tried,
wax on there.
huh? No wax.
Just some wax. Just some wax on the threads.
Yeah,
Not
like
even,
beeswax.
not even that. I'll show you what I use. Hold on.
He's gonna show us a sledgehammer.
Right? You got a big old monkey wrench. 6-inch pipe wrench.
Okay, what's he gonna show us?
This right here. It's just a little.
Poor man's oil filter.
That's right. And I wrap this around it so it don't slip.
Yeah.
I take this and I wrap it around the wood. And pull up on it and it just binds.
Damn. Must be something in that water up there. Because all you got to do is take a little bit of Look here, Dan. All you got to do is take some paraffin and go like this down the threads and then screw your wood on.
Yeah.
And then it comes right off when you try to when you
And
go.
it comes right off by your hands.
Okay.
Much easier than trying to do what you're doing.
Well, this only takes a
I
second.
mean, that's a good alternative, but
Because
making it
I could
harder than
not
it needs
get
to
off.
be.
There
Oh,
was a
I've seen people, getting stuff stuck. Then they twist their chuck off, and you're like, "How do I get my chuck off?" And then they take their chuck, loosen their chuck up, and then now they've just got the screw in there. Yeah,
Yeah, I always use what's that wax for canning?
Paraffin.
Paraffin.
Yeah.
that's what I use is paraffin. Yeah,
I use
when I
that.
have to use it.
I put it on my sides of my saws. I put it on everything.
Like
Yeah.
Frank's Red Hot Sauce.
Huh?
It's like Frank's Red Hot Sauce. I put that shit on everything.
You got
Yeah,
that
right.
It keeps my saws from rusting,
Mhm.
and they slide back and forth easy through the wood. I can't beat it.
Yeah, don't use it on your bedways.
No.
Yeah, it'll be sticky.
Yeah, you'll have shit all stuck up inside your headstock and live center or tailstock and your banjo.
Well, then your wood's gonna end up with wax on it, and then you have to clean the wax off before you can put a finish on it.
Yeah. Wax on, wax off.
Right? That as well.
But I did sharpen my scraper really sharp. And I went to scrape with it. And the first pass going across it got nice, flaky, thin
Whiskey.
shape. And then it caught. And it stopped the lathe.
Yeah.
And then I got an error code.
Oh no, yeah, oh boy. Reached the maximum torque.
Yep.
Did you reset it?
Yeah, just shut it off, unplugged it. And I heard a click. Plugged it back in, it worked fine.
Yeah, well, that's good. You know what you did wrong?
No,
You dropped that trajectory on
The handle.
the scraper.
on the handle. You lowered the handle too low and it got caught.
Well, yeah, I know if you get it, it's got to be less than 90 degrees.
Got to be cutting on center at
Yep,
an angle.
yep. But I've got two of them, and this one I sharpened up, and that's with, the one is just the old style steel in it. That one works beautiful. But the high speed steel, I sharpen that up, and it's like a razor. And when it cuts, it grabs, it'll just about yank that thing out of your hands. So I'm gonna put a bigger handle on it.
You shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
There's something, you're either got the wrong angle or you're sharpening it wrong, because a scraper shouldn't grab that bad unless you're doing something wrong.
Is it at the presented incorrectly?
Well, I'm presenting it the same way as I present the other one. I don't have a bit of problems with it.
Are they both sharpened the same angle?
Same
Yep.
angle,
Yep. Everything's the same on them.
same width.
Yep.
They're both traditional and not a negative rate.
Oh, they're not negative rake.
Okay.
Tradition.
Got them handy?
Yeah.
It's a dumb question. Sitting in the shop, do you have your tool handy? Oh no, I can't.
He's got them up in the bathroom. He shaves with them, so he has to go up.
Nah, that was more of a thing from no matter. Do you have your tool handy? And I've always got my tool on me.
What the hell? Well, let's see the bevel on those.
Where the hell did that go?
Do one at a time and put your hand behind.
Yeah.
Do one at a time and put your hand, because the light is washing them out. Yeah, they're almost straight.
Yeah,
There's
in the
like
corner, got some nice corners. They dig in really good.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I'm gonna say it's the grind.
Huh?
16.
I'm gonna say it's the grind.
Yeah, you got it's too much of a 90-degree angle on that. You gotta get a little bit more of a bevel.
Okay.
You like a 60.
Yeah, those look almost like 80 or 75.
95.
Yeah,
no.
they look a little stout there, and so I think that's the reason why it's pulling in
Yeah.
on you.
Really steep.
So put a like a 45.
Nope.
No, about 60.
Oh, 60.
Yeah, maybe between 60 and 65.
But see, I wanted this round like this on this corner because I didn't want this. I got a square end for a square corner. And I sharpened this back a little bit so I could get a nice edge coming in. But I found out I didn't need it. I can just use this part of it right here.
What kind of project are you using them on?
That's just for bowls, or not bowls, but
Boxes.
boxes, yeah.
So I can see that for a box, as a box scraper.
Yeah. And this one
Don't
right
too
here,
aggressive.
this
it's-
one here
It's still
works perfect.
It's a lot of tool. It's a lot of tool for a box.
Yeah. Well, I bought this at a garage sale for 10 cents, so I can't complain.
So no.
And that's
Stand-
what they had.
Here's my box scraper.
Dan?
What?
Standard scraper with a factory grind is anywhere between 65 and 80.
So that,
You be closer to 65. 80 is a little steep.
Okay.
More to wood turner's preference, but that will be
So-
very safe.
there you go.
I
Yep.
just double checked my book
All right.
or my student book.
Yeah, see, that's a box scraper right there.
Yeah, I got another piece of steel like this one here I was gonna make.
See that sharp corner that rounded corner there?
Yeah.
It's gonna grab, especially the how blunt of a bevel you
dig.
have on it. It is gonna grab like you wouldn't believe.
That's what's grabbing you.
No, not a corner. It's still too sharp of a corner.
Okay. Well, I'll round them out some more. I gotta go out and take care of my dog, so I'll be back.
Okay.
If you see the line behind me, that's the trail from the rocket from last night.
I bet.
That's what it looked like here.
It's
Yeah, we got
chemtrails.
the huge the huge plume
Oh yeah.
fire coming out, from obviously from a couple thousand, 1,000 miles away.
Yeah, that
As it launches, it's small, and then as it keeps going, the trajectory just gets bigger and bigger, and then as each stage drops off,
off, yeah.
and it's wicked to look at.
Yep. I don't know if I got a picture of that. I might have a picture of that.
All right.
Out here, they're always all the time going, "Oh, did you guys see the UFO? There's another UFO."
There it goes trailing off. There's the rockets, right?
Yep.
Right. That's the rocket right there, trailing off. And right here is about where it's
Yeah.
separated.
Right where my mouse is. Oh, you can't see it.
Right
Now in the spot
there.
right here.
Right there. It's about where it's separated. And then it just kept on going.
Was that a SpaceX rocket or?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was SpaceX.
it's a Falcon 9
What else?
rocket booster they use.
Modeled after the Atlas V. Kind of hard to improve on something that's never failed.
Yeah, and then it lands right back onto a platform. So they can use
Right.
it over and over again.
Yeah.
Fail with Canadian astronauts.
Canadian astronauts.
I said it can't fail with all the Canadian astronauts.
They did what, 20, 25 Starlinks they launched?
It's 22 last night.
22.
It's
Yep.
usually 22 per launch.
Anywhere between 20 and 30, actually.
All the launches I've seen have actually been 22.
I know it was somewhere around 20 and 25. I just couldn't remember.
Oh, there you go. That's a good one. Where was that taken at? Roger's holding up something. Where was that taken, Roger?
That was in California. I think it was in 18.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, Southern California gets a really good view of those if the
Yeah.
sun is in the right place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Yeah, the Air Force Base where they
Yeah.
launch those from is just like 60 miles, 70 miles north of LA.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Brandenburg.
and then the trajectory kind of goes over Southern California a little bit. So you get a really good view of it there. Yeah, that's a picture.
That's what we see out
That's-
here.
That's where it was separating from, is right there. And from here, though, the separation, I tried to take pictures of them, and they just came out too dark as far as the picture of those.
Luckily, this was an evening, so it was starting to get dark outside, and
Yeah, last night that's what it was too.
Yeah, they're always in the evening.
yeah.
Yeah, it's always neat. It's what you got a picture there of, Roger. That's what we see out here. You know, so we see that, and then off right is the sun setting, and so it's
Mhm.
just quite the spectacular view that we have out here for them. Another cool rocket to see that they launch is the THAAD ICBM rockets that they send
Oh,
out over the Pacific to detonate. Those are impressive as well.
oh yeah,
The
those
plume that they
really
make.
those really put on a show, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
That's cool.
Just letting the little rocket man and the mad Russian know that we can still touch them at any time we want.
Well, that spaceport in Vandenberg was, they originally built it to launch shuttles, but after the Challenger exploded, they changed their minds and they stopped that.
Yeah, they changed the mission.
Yeah, they're going to have two fleets. They're going to have a fleet in Florida and one here in California. So.
Have
We've
any
been
of y'all-
seeing more. We've been seeing more
Have you-
flights of the Aurora out here. You know, the one that doesn't exist.
Have any of y'all seen the Starlink satellites going over?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've got an app on my phone that tells me when they're going to go over.
We were in my son. I didn't know they did that. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, we would lay out in the yard and we could watch this is like in the 60s. We could lay out in the yard. There wasn't a lot of light pollution back then. And we could watch the satellites go over
Yeah,
and go by. And it was just awesome. Well, the other night we were out in my son-in-law's backyard and I see this string of lights
Yeah.
kicking out across the sky. And I was like,
They call it the satellite train. Yeah, they call it
yeah,
the
I was like,
satellite
what
train.
the hell is that?
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Right.
we
That's
took a
cool.
picture and videos, and I had to look it up, and yeah, it was just Starlink satellites, no big deal.
Right.
There's also a site that'll message you to tell you when the International Space Station is going to fly over your area.
Yeah, that's
And when
literally what I was getting ready to say next. Was the space station comes over and there's an alert that you can get for that as well.
Yeah, I think there's one early in the morning here. It's supposed to go over, because I just got the message this afternoon. Come on, come back up. What the heck? At 4:51 a.m. And then and the last one I saw was what was really cool is because they launched one of those rockets the same time that I could see the space station going over us at the same time. So you saw
Yeah.
a rocket in the space station.
Right.
That was really cool. That was, what was it, June 1st? Yeah, so tonight they're supposed to go over at 4:51 a.m., but I'm not getting up that early to watch it. It has to be in the right place, and the sun has to be in the right place to be able to see it.
Yeah.
The sun has to reflect off of it to be able to see it. Looks like a very fast moving star going across. It's bright. It's really bright. You can't miss it if you know what you're looking for.
And it's not slow either.
No, once you see it, man, it's like 4 minutes and it's gone. Clear over and disappears.
Hey Dane, now that Dan's back, I'd like to do a share screen with a scraper.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can get it.
We can spotlight you.
This is with a negative rake scraper. It's 20 degrees by 70 degrees on top.
Oh, that's
And
great.
check out the shavings. You're gonna.
Oh, yeah,
get
yeah.
off.
Yeah. You see the curve he's got on that one too.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, nice curve that matches the
That's
profile.
2 degrees on the edge and 70 degrees on top. Look at them fine shavings I'm getting with that.
Yep.
That's
Well,
Texas 70 as well.
I just measured the angle on them and it's exactly 70 degrees.
Yeah, that's too much. You gotta cut them back.
Yeah, it's aggressive.
Yeah, that's real aggressive.
You say take it back to
60,
Yeah, at least 60.
at least 60.
There's not a mark left in there. It's just smooth as it can be.
60, 65.
Yeah, that's real good, Joaquin.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you, Joaquin.
Well,
No, if I put it on an angle, I pull off like little snowflakes of like spaghetti,
Yeah.
real thin.
Yeah.
No, that's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, Steve Jones, he shared that with me. I mean, I didn't come up with it, but
Yeah.
you know, that spindle turner.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's his grind on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't happy with the corner, so I was gonna angle that back further. Well, it's not such a tight angle.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're sticking that in the bottom of a box and it's gonna grab on you. Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
And this one here, just take it
That's
around like this.
Round it over a bit more.
Yeah.
You can round it over, but also the back bevel's got to be at least
60.
60, minimum 65, but I'd do 60. But yeah, that bevel.
Yep.
'Cause what are you sitting at right now? 95,
70.
70?
Yep.
And another 10 degrees, make it 60 at least. And it's gonna be the burr's gonna be really, really grabby on a tool like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll mark that, carve that out further, round it out more. I think I'll do it on both of them.
Yeah.
And then I'll on my other one, I'm gonna grind like what Dane has on an angle. I gotta make sure I got that piece of steel yet. Gonna make another scraper.
Yeah, I'll do a dimension mock-up for it on that for you tomorrow, Dan, and send to you.
Okay, but this one, the one I bought for a nickel or 10 cents, whatever, is quite a bit wider than that high-speed steel.
Yeah. Well, it's beefier.
Yeah.
That's for
Yeah.
sure. Nothing wrong with that. It just makes it more stable. You know, the more beefy the
Vibration,
full
yeah.
steel, the less vibration or flex you're going to have and reverberation coming back in the metal.
Chatter.
Yep.
Chatter. Oh,
Chatter. Yeah. Simple word, chatter. How long you home for, Scott?
Till Sunday.
Till Sunday, going back up again.
Yep, for at least 2 weeks, if not 3.
You must be going through withdrawals.
No, I want to go back to where it's cool.
Can't blame you for that. Can't blame you for that.
When I left yesterday, it was 75 degrees at noon. And when I got here, it was 95 degrees and 80% humidity and no wind.
Oh, wow.
When I opened the truck door, it was like, wow. It just took your
Right.
breath away.
That's our standard weather down here, Scott.
That's why I don't live in Texas.
And that's
You can
why I don't
keep
live up there.
Yeah, exactly.
We've in the last 3 weeks, we've got over 8 inches of rain here.
Wow.
Yeah, we sure could use some.
We're floating. So my wife's got a planter that's made out of an old wash tub on legs. When we came home yesterday, we got styrofoam in the bottom, so you don't have to use so much dirt. It was floating. The drain hole got plugged up, and it was like a floating bog.
Oh God.
I bet you there was a 5-gallon bucket of water in that wash tub
Wow.
when I drained it. The plants liked it. They thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Growing like crazy.
Yeah, we had a
Yeah.
tropical storm come in here today. It was great. They've got us cut down where we can only water our grass every 2 weeks. The lakes are so low.
Yeah. Well, it started raining last Wednesday night, and we've had at least an inch of rain every night since last Wednesday.
Yeah, the same as what I'm getting.
It's horrible.
And I
It's
know
rained here today. It's rained here for the last, I don't know, 5-6 hours.
Yeah.
Last time I saw it rain, I had to go to the AW symposium in Oregon.
Last time I saw rain was when I took a shower.
Oh,
I don't know what night I talked to Dane, but right after I talked to him, it started raining, and the weatherman came on and said we were going to get inch of rain an hour at the rate that it was raining, and it rained for at least 2 hours.
Hey, Joaquin, you know how they have us on water constraints, right?
yeah.
And so the city of, so including out here in my neighborhood, they're building a new car wash. In the city, they've got 7 new car washes being built, but there's absolutely no constraints on them on the amount of car washes or amount of cars that can be washed in a day. But yet, as a residential homeowner, they try to tell you when you can water and when you can't water shit.
That's like that here.
So is there really a water shortage?
Well, they tell us, oh, well, theirs is recycled, but there's evaporation and you got to get the.
Right?
Oh yeah, it's
It's recycled. Where's it being? What they're recycling it? They're the ones that are cleaning all the chemicals and the
That's
tar
what
and
they
everything
say.
out of it. Oh,
that's what
bullshit.
they say. Yeah.
I agree with you.
Right? I know, right?
My gosh, all that stuff. that
Chaps
comes off
my
those
ass.
fields. Hmm?
Right?
And
Yeah,
we did the
We
survey.
had a big old influx of car washes here the last couple of years. Right in the middle of a drought, they start building all these car washes, and I'm like, what are they thinking?
Yeah, they're building a huge ass Mr. Octopus or whatever the hell it's called.
You can't wash your car in the driveway
Harbor.
here, but they let these car washes use gallons upon gallons of water every day.
They did a
Yeah.
survey on the usage. Residential users here, we got 350,000, is only 19% of the water users. And we're
Right.
restricted and nobody else is.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
Imagine
exactly.
that.
The city.
Another thing that I disapprove of and can attest is people coming out here and planting vineyards for wine You're in a desert. Grapes are not supposed to grow out here in this climate. They are not native here and they shouldn't be here. And for all the people that live outside of city water, that have tapped wells, now these vineyards that have popped up everywhere the last 20 years. Now these homeowners that had a well that was in operation, going to be generational water for them. Now they're out of water. Now they have to have water trucked into them.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
Well, see,
At least we're kicking the Middle Easterns out of Arizona with the
Yeah,
cotton
but we opened
fields.
up two wading pools here and splash pools just here a couple of weeks ago for tourists.
Yeah, we had a shooting at one in Rochester.
Yeah.
So
I heard
Oh
about
yeah,
that.
yeah. I remember reading about that over the weekend.
and then the guy goes home and kills himself.
They haven't released who did it. Who did it?
No, they haven't.
I can
Killed
tell
him.
you. I can tell you who it wasn't. It wasn't a white guy.
Myself, I don't know why.
Because if it was, it would have been all over the news that it was.
This is the way I look at it. If you're going to go and shoot a whole bunch of innocent people having fun, just sit at home with a gun to your head and pull the trigger.
I know.
Right?
You ain't got to take everybody else with you.
Amen.
Kill kids.
Yeah.
Like, what's with you?
Yeah. 9-year-old kid, his mother shot, critical condition.
These idiots, they think that the only way they could do it justifiably is they have to take as many people as they can with them because they know they're going to die more likely.
Yeah.
90% chance they're going to be killed by the police officer. They're going to kill themselves.
Mhm.
It's only 10% that are caught and tried.
Or when they get to prison, general population finds out they killed a bunch of kids and women, they're dead.
No,
Water.
they put these guys in solitary in prison here. Guys like that, they never go out in the population. They go out in the yard by themselves. They have their own private yard that they go out in by themselves and everything. It's crazy.
The prison hotel.
Yep.
Better than some people.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
internet, they have TV, they have cell phones.
Crazy.
However, they do get a personal beating applied to them daily from the corrections officer.
Let's hope.
Right.
Yeah, but the sad part is we pay for all that as taxpayers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know, right? Yeah, they never should have made it to prison to begin with, or made it to court. Should have been an attempted jailbreak, and they were killed in the line of a reapprehension.
If they have prisons like
Save the
Alcatraz
taxpayer.
still, it would
Save
cut
the
down on stuff.
taxpayer some money.
Just actually.
I think if they still have prisons like Alcatraz, it would make people think twice before doing something stupid.
Well, we do, and we got Angola in Louisiana.
I've walked through Alcatraz on the tour. I would not have want to been a prisoner there. It is nasty. You have like
I wouldn't walk through Angola on a tour.
No.
Look
the,
at
It's
cells,
in the middle of a bayou.
the cells are only like 5 feet by 8 feet. That's all the room you have in there.
Yeah, that's too much.
And they put
Well,
two people.
at least they had it. At least they
two
had a
people.
cell. Down in Angola, they got you on the chain, and they got your ass out there working 12 hours a day.
Oh, they made them work at Alcatraz. They had their steel shops there.
Look up
Crap. Oh, I know. I know
Angola.
what Angola is.
Look up Angola.
Oh yeah.
I like the Cadiz prison in Spain. It's out in the middle of the ocean. There's no escapes. They've got rats in there the size of a German Shepherd. And if they got any,
Well, that's what they eat.
if they have any disturbance,
Yeah,
they just start
rat,
flooding
because that's what's for dinner.
They just start flooding the floors and drowning them, and then pump them back out, take the bodies out.
Right. Yeah,
That's
you
why
get a
you don't
crime,
hear-
That's what you can do to time.
That's a big deterrent there in Spain.
Grandpa, we're out of milk, and then we also need.
When I was in Spain, if they got caught stealing, that was life imprisonment. That was in 73. I mean, home invasion, not just stealing a pack of gum.
Yeah. Uh-huh. It's the